We are live, folks. We got me, Tyrese Clark, and then we got the one and only DC Soap Sanctuary. How are you today, DC?
I'm doing great, Kyrie. How are you? How are thou?
Uh, uh, I'm doing all right. I was tired today, a long day at work, but I'm good. But I'm good now. Now we got a lot of good things to talk about today. But first, I had to pull out a DC original of what Finn needs to do. Finn needs to stay in his seat. You're supposed to say you're supposed to say it at the same time. That's your line. So we're gonna do that again. Finn
Okay.
on three. One, two, three.
One,
What
two,
does Finn
three.
need to do? Stay
Stay
in
in his
his
seat.
seat. You don't go defending somebody else that's not your wife in public. You wait until you get home first, and then you tell your wife, hey baby, why are you trying to cancel her line? You know her line was profitable before. Like, come on. I know you don't like her, but don't let that get. I know you're a smart businesswoman. You do that on the outside, but I mean. In the privacy of your own home, but to the outside world, you're a united front. You be like, well, I trust my wife handles her business the way she handles that accordingly. That's what you tell Hope. You don't go over there and defend some hoe. He pulled a Belle Black when Belle should have stayed in her seat, just like Finn was completely out of line today, defending her, defending the
I'm back.
undefendable.
He
Hey,
pulled a Bell
Jonathan,
Black.
huh?
He pulled a Bell Black. You know the infamous scene with Belle was at Victor's funeral when she went to go comfort Bill up, and you know my infamous. She said, "Stayed in her seat."
Exactly. Just like Finn should have stayed in his seat today. Hey, Solomon. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Dewan. Hey, Lashanta. Hey, CJ Clove 18. But yes, but you know my feelings now. How did you feel about Finn today? If you
So
watched
here's
both
the
of them,
thing. I haven't. I'm only caught up on GH and Days at the moment. A little bit of YNR, but I have an inkling of what's going on in B&B. I think last time I saw it was a bit of a last week, so I have an inkling of what's going on. Now I will say this: what's happening with B&B right now is I do believe that Steffie's completely justified. I know Boston Enterprise would disagree with me, but I do believe that Steffie's completely justified in how she's been handling Finn because this is a woman that tried to kill her, right? In terms of Sheila. This isn't just any woman. This is a woman that tried to kill her, left her for dead, and her husband for dead. A woman that constantly knows no boundaries. And I feel like her taking out her frustrations on Finn is at the very least. He should more than understand. And has she kind of been emasculating Finn a little bit? Yeah. Do I kind of understand a little bit? Yeah, I understand a little bit too. You know, it was not for decoration. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like I understand Steffi's position in all of this.
yeah, but this wasn't even about. But this week, this isn't even about Sheila.
Oh, what
Steffi
happened
wants
this
to
week?
cut Steffi wants to cut Hope's line because Hope's line, Hope for the Future,
Oh,
is underperforming. So Steffi wanted to shut that down, but Ridge backed Hope. So
I do recall seeing that from last Friday when she said she wanted to cut the line, and I'm kind of here for it.
yeah, but Ridge blocked it, and now to be worse, Ridge wants Brooke to be Steffi's co-CEO. Because Ridge wants to design again, so now he wants to promote Brooke. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Do you think Ava will use the recording of she has on Natalia? Absolutely, she will. Um, Ava's definitely going to expose that homophobic heifer next week. I can't wait until she do. She's definitely going to expose her. And hey, Albert of Bostic Enterprises. Um, but that was ridiculous. Finn walked up in there really trying to check Steffi. Talk about, really, Steffi? You want to cancel Hope for the Future? And Steffi said, Finn, you're a doctor. Stay in your lane.
I agree. I agree with that. It's like, why would he question her? Why do you want to question her about what happens in Force Creations? That's business.
Uh-huh. That's her bread and butter. You're right, Kyrie's. Why do Hope ate that up? Because Hope is sickening. Steffie just needs to keep distance from Sheila. If Finn wants to be in his mother's life, then she should let him. She's too bossy and demanding right now. But the woman did try to kill her multiple times, though. It's not like that was the first particular she shot her, but Finn is a grown man if he wants to visit his mother outside of that. But Steffie has a reason to not want Sheila around Hayes. That's where to draw the line. Like, Finn's a grown man. If he wants to go suck it up on every other Sunday to go have brunch with Sheila in the morning, that's his business. But you're not bringing that bitch around my son. That's what you're not about to do. You know, I really feel Steffie on that.
I'm kind of waiting for Kimberly. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Steffie has every right to shut Sheila out, because she does.
I'm actually kind of just. I was gonna say I'm kind of waiting for Killen Brown's contract to end, because it's like it's getting ridiculous with Sheila. It's just too many. It's like Sheila has 9 lives on this show, and it's to the point where it's kind of ridiculous. She fell off the balcony. She was alive. The evidence that Bill got, it was on a technicality. Even when she shot Steffie and Finn, it's like she got off on that. It's like it's becoming a little too ridiculous almost at this point for me to take Sheila seriously. And I love Kimberly Brown. I think she's a great actress. I kind of just want this to end, because it's like it's getting too ridiculous for me. It's becoming to the point where it's like almost unbelievable at this point. But I feel like they're doing all this because she's on contract, and so they have to keep writing a story for her every time, even if it makes no sense.
Jonathan says, I still think Sheila wasn't truthful about what happened with Herman Trigger. Me too. I think Sheila definitely had more to do with this than what she's letting on. Because she want to claim, because Sheila lost me there the second she said, I love Steffie. Of course I wouldn't want to hurt her. I love her. I'm like, that's when I knew that right then and there that was a bunch of crap.
You don't shoot somebody you love, unless you're also Sonny Corinthos, but you know.
Well, Coverage, that means Steffie needs to divorce Finn then. She sure do. She needs to pack his bags. He needs to be sleeping in the dog bed for a while. He would definitely not be sleeping in my bed, okay? He would be on the floor that night. You're going to defend that ho. I don't think so. And then he's going to give her a whole massage afterwards. And then Mr. Bostic talking about, he's a doctor. He's just giving him, all he's doing is just giving him a massage. That's all he's doing. Like that's okay. Like I'm like, Albert, if you would let your rival give your wife give your rival a massage, whether she's in pain or not. Hell no. Would you
Isn't been like an infectious disease doctor and not like a chiropractor last time I checked? So I don't think massages are on the list here. I wouldn't be cool with it.
I would not be cool with it at all. Hey, Clarence. Sheila just wanted to look good in Finn's eyes, and he's falling for it. He's an idiot. But on General Hospital, before I start ripping into Natalia, I want to talk about happier thoughts. I want to talk about Trina and Gio. You saw when Trina saw Gio today, the sparks in her eyes when she saw Gio.
Okay. I have only seen up to Wednesday's GH. I haven't seen today's.
Yes.
So it's just when this new Gio character came on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trina looked like she was ready to drop her panties for him today. The second she saw him getting out that pool, she was turned on. I was here for it. She loves her some Gio already. She was like,
okay.
She had a spark in her eyes. And I'm not gonna lie, Gio was looking kind of cute today. I mean, I know I see him. He was stepping out of that pool. He got a nice thick bubble butt. I see him. All right. So him and Trina
reminds me of Spencer a little bit, doesn't it? That reminds me of Spencer a little bit, just from the look.
Wow. Spencer is a piece of garbage, so I'm not going to sit there and be reminded of trash every time I see Gio. I don't want to be reminded of trash. So I'm going to pretend that I, that Spencer never existed. OMG, see, thank you, OMG, Kyrie. You saw that bubble butt too. Thank you. See, Clarence knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, yep, he has a thick ass. I noticed Gio when he was stepping out of that pool. I noticed it. I was like, well, damn.
I know Spencer had one of those, but anyways, continue.
John said he don't look like Spencer. You're right. He looks better than Spencer.
I think
Kyrie
Spencer
said
looked better, to be honest. But okay, maybe I have to see him on the show. Let me reserve to see because I'm just only seeing pictures right now. I think Spencer looked better, but continue.
Kyrie said I want Trina with a black man now. GH needs a young hot black couple. They do need a young hot black couple, but in
Trina
the
and TJ,
meantime,
Clarence said it. Go ahead.
I've been saying that for a hot minute. Okay, that Trina needs some black loving in her life. But however, it's good. Kyrie's background is outside, so touch some grass with your toes, Kyrie's. LOL. They not related, are they? I mean, technically not, but technically yes. By law, they're married. I mean, they're related, but
He would be a good husband material for Trina, honestly.
do you think Steffie get pregnant after Steffie and Finn break up? Ain't Trina and TJ cousins? Not by blood.
Yeah, not biologically. I mean, they can do what they want to do. I mean, we've seen. Listen, didn't Ridge and Bridget get together on Bold and Beautiful after believing
That's
for so many
disgusting.
years
And
they were
he
brother
was
and
almost her
sister, and
daughter.
then they weren't? And right, and almost his daughter too. It's just, then Trina and TJ can be together.
They could be, but I want TJ to be with Deanna though. That's who TJ needs to be with.
I can see it. I can see
Thank
it.
you.
I can
See,
actually see it.
they could be the super like because first of all, unlike Molly's little bony self, Deanna's gonna have a nice hot home cooked meal for TJ every single night. Even after they're both working double shifts in the hospital, she will keep him well fed. Because I remember that scene a few weeks ago. Well, it was months ago. When Stella came up in there with her chicken dumplings, and TJ was all over that. But unlike Molly's vegan ass, she don't cook for her man. She don't know how to keep her man happy. Like that's why TJ's so grumpy all the time lately. He's not well fed. You know, he's always working all this long hours. I bet you TJ got that in him. He got that old school mentality in him. He wants a wife to come home to, have meals ready for him. Like Deanna could step into, even though Deanna's busy in her own right, she could be that woman for him though. You know,
I think Deanna and TJ would have more chemistry.
They would, because this Molly and because like to be honest, the old Molly grew up on our screens for everybody, but this new Molly, we need to see her suffer to really find a way to connect with her. Like there's nothing there for us to connect with. I get that Haley Paluzzo, she's a controversial figure, but the reason you're connected to her is because you watched her grow up on your screen. But I couldn't care less about her either way. Even if it was Haley in the role, I still wouldn't be able to care about Molly. But I care even less about this new one right now because I need to see her suffer. She needs to go down to build herself back up. All right.
Molly and TJ to me are just they're no longer interesting. I don't feel that spunk. I don't feel that fire. I don't feel that love in the afternoon. They're like the Michael and Lauren of General Hospital. It's just if you guys watch YNR, you guys see Michael and Lauren, they've just faded into the background ever since on YNR, since like 2006. And that's exactly what Molly and TJ are. They're like a background couple on the soaps where you don't touch with them because there's no need to really mess with them. You might give them something once every 5 years. And they're too young to be in that stage already. They're too young to be at that stage.
Yeah.
I'd rather TJ with Deanna. I would much rather that. I would rather maybe one day, I don't know, Molly and TJ are having a second honeymoon in Paris, and maybe one of Rick Lansing's enemies is coming for Molly to kidnap him to get a ransom from Rick, and Molly becomes collateral damage, and that would be a great way to bring Will Lansing back on the show. It's kind of weird that he's not involved in this storyline, but anyways. And then maybe Molly is presumed dead for a while, and he falls in love with Deanna, who helps him, from the explosion, nurses and back to health at GH, and they fall in love and they raise that little baby together, and then, hey, I'm here for it. That's a storyline I would be here for. And then everybody would have a hard time accepting Deanna because they were so used to Molly, little soap angst there, and we could build a storyline from that point forward.
Yes, I love it. See, this is why we need to hire DC Soap Sanctuary. Once he graduates, gets his PhD, we need to get GH needs to hire DC Soap. Actually, if you could work for any of those soap operas, like if they all four offer you a contract to be a writer, which one would you work for?
Well, that's a toughie. Which one would I work for? Well, it'd be a tie between YNR and GH because I feel like they have enough. But probably GH because I feel like there's so much meatiness already for me to work with that makes something happen. And if I did work for YNR, I would make it my vow as like a head writer or a co-head writer that no matter what I would do, if I was on contract for 5 years, I would make my goal at least to put Tracy and Nate together at one point together during that 5 years, or somehow just spark it together once. But if I had to pick which one to write for, I would say GH because it needs the most work. B&B is just B&B. I'm kind of washing my hands of B&B at this point. When the gates come on, B&B will be dropped because I can't do 5 soaps. So B&B will be the soap that will get dropped. But I would say GH because there's enough meatiness for me to work with. I'd probably rewrite some history, do some new things, play with this here, play with this there. There's a lot to play with on GH. Days doesn't really need my help. I feel they're good. They don't need my help. They got enough meat to work with at Carvelotti over there. YNR, I feel like I'd have to take 10,000 years just to tell one story. And I don't have that kind of time when it has head writer. You got a limited amount of time to tell a story. So I would pick GH because I feel like I could really, really flip the whole world upside down.
And what would be your first order of business on General Hospital?
Ooh, you don't want to know what my first order of business would be. You really want to know?
I want to know.
I would be the most hated head writer since Jill Farron Phelps. But my first order of business would be to bring a whole event storyline back to GH. And you know what that event would be?
What?
The death of Sonny Corinthos.
Okay.
I would do the death of Sonny Corinthos. And I would, if Maurice Bernard is willing to quit, we can find some way to convince him to get off the screen, and we can make it a whole event killing him off. That would be a GH event because GH was like an event back in the day when I watched it, and it could be this big event of who killed Sonny, and not only that, we're seeing the power players come back to Port Charles, so we can bring like a blast in the past. Faith Evans, all these people come back, whether it's as a ghost or something on GH, right? Alcazar comes back, and it's a power play, right, on GH. And we're watching all of Port Charles kind of scramble at this point. And then we can even bring in Susan Lucci to play a flashback Adela Corinthos when Sonny was a kid. We could have that on. This would be a monumental event I would do on GH. And would make People's Magazine with Maurice Bernard leaving the show. So I would put that as a setup to bring the show back to where it is. And Maurice Bernard can still come on as a ghost from time to time. We can still have that. That's cool and all. Whatever. That's cool. We can have that. But it would be an event of the season. And in this way now, I would set the stage for the next generation of General Hospital now, of who would be the next power players. And what I would do is I would have Carly and Jason finally get married. Carson would finally be a thing after all these years. I would have these two tie the knot. And I would have the storyline we were supposed to have, the mafioso couple that should have been. Well, now they're forced back into the realm because they've got to protect Port Charles. This is the storyline that I would put for GH if I was head writer. And find a way to get Maurice Bernard to agree.
Awesome, man.
What are your thoughts?
Hey, DC and Kyrie's, what do you think? What do you guys think about Chad threatening Clyde? Chad don't have no intimidation factors. Like, Chad is cute and all, but he's just cute. Not intimidating, though. He ain't got no one scary bone in his body. Like, Ava was more intimidating than him. That's something. When she had that gun, she was like, I really wish they could have let they would have let Ava shoot Officer Goldman, because especially they got rid of her the next day anyway. So they might as well, they just should have really let her pull that trigger. That would have been like a oh shit moment. That would have been perfect when she said, "You know what? I've been dreaming about nothing but revenge since that night," and bam, and shot her right in the head.
I kind of wish though, like Chad would have shot him though, like, or one of them would have, because when they had the gun, I was like, they ain't gonna shoot him. Let me go ahead and see what's in the fridge. Like that's all I was doing. When I was watching the scenes. Like, then nobody's gonna shoot nobody because it's gotten so predictable. I would have loved to see a gunshot, and then you hold this in for the next episode. That would have shocked me more if a gunshot went off. Like we actually would have seen Clyde get shot, and then be like, oh snap, we got to tomorrow. But we didn't get that.
Thank you again, Jonathan. Jonathan said, I forgot to mention this back in Albert's chat. Tomorrow's the Daytime Emmys Awards. Oh, yeah, I read that Catherine Kelly Lang already wrote her little speech. She expects to be the winner already. I'm like, lady, oh, yeah, you got nominated for crying for that little scene with Taylor when you unfriended her. That's what you got nominated by Emmy for. I would love to see the look on her face if she loses that crap. Because don't nobody care about Bald and the Beautiful compared to some of the other harder storylines. So she needs to stay in her seat. Quite literally, actually.
Yeah, she does with the ceremony. Just stay where you're at in the ceremony. Stay in the seat. Stay in the seat. Stay in the seat.
Hey, my flawless God's gift to men, Queen Jessica Love.
The Diane Jenkins of Boston Enterprises.
Clarence says he's good, but now we got to talk about Natalia, that homophobic bitch-ass bitch. I just got to say it, what she is. Look, ain't nobody asking for her little fake her fake acceptance or her fake whatever. Don't nobody need her support. Like at the end of the day, we can live our lives the way we want to live it, but we don't need to see this old stuck-up prude that ain't had no D in her life right now. So why does she? All she does right now, she's just an anchor that brings the show down to me. Like, at least if she's there, she wants to be messy, cool, but be messy with a purpose, though. Like, mess with be an actual villain and mess with somebody. Try to plot to take somebody's money. Do something. But all you're just sitting over there, bossing around your little grown daughter, who's not even all that talented. Blaze makes my ears bleed every time she tries to sing. That girl is trash as a performer to begin with. And her mother is an even worse quality than her. So Blaze isn't working for me. Her thirsty mama ain't working for me. So Ava, play that recording so Sonny could run Natalia out of town just like he did Gladys. Please.
Like I said before, like Blaze and Christina, I have to agree with Clarence. I would totally write out Blaze. I'm not connected to her and Christina. I don't care. I noticed that. Like, honestly, yesterday was the first time I was like, wow, like Chase and Brooklyn are actually really a couple. Like, that was the first time it kind of actually resonated with me for the first time. These are two couples I don't care about. I kind of care about Brooklyn Chase now because of the funeral thing, but Christina and Blaze I don't care about. Let me tell you something. If I wanted to see LGBTQ couple on GH, it would have been Lucas and Felix or Brad and Lucas. And here's how I would have done it. Because when this Woo came on, that was a time to put Brad back in the helm. Him and Lucas literally are the sons, are related. Well, Brad is not technically a son, he's a nephew, but they are technically kind of say the sons of mob bosses, with Lucas's father being Julian Jerome and Brad's aunt being Miss Wu. Like, that was legendary. There was something they could have created around there with that, where they could have put those two together again, against all the odds of just what happened. And maybe, just maybe, Miss Wu, this is what I'd love to see, is him wanting to go back to Lucas, and Miss Wu has one of her henchmen seduce Brad, right? And have Brad marry into the Wu dynasty family, one of her henchmen or whatever, to take on the business. That would have been more interesting. I don't really care about Christina Blaze or Allison or Allie, whatever she's calling herself. I could care less about the storyline. It does nothing to interest me. I'm not interested in them. I tolerate them. There's just no depth to their scenes. They're no Bianca and Maggie for me. Uh, they're no Luke and Noah. They're no Lucas and Brad. They're no what are the other couples out there? Oliver and Fish. They are no geez, what are the other couples? I'm trying to remember all the other couples we had. Um, they just don't do it for me personally. Those two, I'm not invested at all. I'm bored every time I watch them on screen. I don't know what I'm supposed to be invested in. Um, it does nothing
Me
for me.
and me and CJ Clove 18 are gonna get this reference. There are no Darren and Cash either. There are no Darren and Cash. Um, come on, Kyrese. Natalia has gotten more than enough D in her long life. Have you seen Natalia? I know Deanna looks better than Natalia. That's all I know. Um, Deanna looks way better than Natalia do, right? Christina and Blaze bore me. They're where chemistry goes to die. The only thing that's worse than Christina and Blaze is Elizabeth and Finn. That to me, DC, this is the sad part. I almost remember there was only one time when Elizabeth and Finn seemed interesting. They had a strong start. Remember when Finn threw Peter down those stairs? That was the only time Finn was ever interesting because, like, right there, Elizabeth looked like she was ready to give him some. Like, she was ready to drop out of that little uniform right there and be like, no, F that. We not turning you in. You're not going to jail for him. Like, nope, she was really ready to give him some that day. And it
Right.
was like that one day. But when we saw how that played out, I'm like, where was I in that scene? If I would have pushed Peter down the stairs, then I would have told Finn to go mind his business, and let me do what I got to do to cover my own tracks.
You know,
So,
storyline I'd like to see right now in GH that, and this is something I thought of the other day, and maybe
mhm.
I'm thinking too deep, but there was a way I saw Willow and Drew having a conversation, and I was like, these two are a little bit too close. I was like, are the writers gonna go there one day with these two? It just popped into my head for a moment, and it's just because sometimes the writers sprinkle things in there a little bit. Because I'm like, Drew right now is with Nina. Is he gonna get Willow at some point too? And it's gonna cause a friction between him and Michael because the way Willow was just like, "You can do it, Drew. I believe in you," and it was just them alone. It was just something about that scene. And this is the thing. I could be overthinking this, but I remember years ago when I saw Ava and Morgan in the scene, I was like, are they gonna put these two together? And I told my friend I was back in high school, and she's like, no, they're not. Morgan is so young. And what do they do a few weeks later? So I don't know. I was watching that scene a little bit, maybe kind of think a little bit. Which honestly, that wouldn't be a bad move to pull. See, if I was on GH, that's exactly the move that I would pull. That's exactly the move I would pull. You want something like that. You want to like that. What would be your thoughts on that if they pulled that?
That's nasty. That's just outright nasty. But it's soap opera, so that's typically what they would do. So that's a typical soap opera move. But I'm tired of mother and daughter swapping men, though. That's kind of nasty. But um, the thing is with this Drew thing, I feel like Drew gets way too much credit for saving Willow's life. First of all, Obrick was the one that saved Willow's life. So let's get that right. And Drew didn't even necessarily wasn't the only one that saved Obrick. It was Valentine, like it was a group effort between Valentine, Anna, Curtis, Laura. They all were there, and Curtis was doing way more than Drew did. All Drew managed to do was knock Victor down one time, and Victor still almost destroyed the world if it wasn't for Laura and Curtis teaming up to get that done. They're the ones that really saved Willow's life. So I feel like Drew gets way too much credit. He just walks around and gives himself a pat on the back. But he really didn't do all that much. When we actually watched that play out, Drew really didn't do all that much like they claim. Obrick was the one that actually, but even if he did, Obrick's the one that still actually saved your life. Because she could have easily said, you know what? Yeah, Drew brought me back here, but I changed my mind. I'm not going to do the surgery after all. And Obrick could have left. And then Willow would be dead. So Dr. Obrick was the one that saved Willow's life.
And then, another thing that I talk about too is in terms of, wait, hold on one second for me. Sorry about this, my cat. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry about that, guys. Give me 1 second about that. All right, sorry about that. But one thing I kind of thought about is how, give me 1 second. Sorry, my cat is acting up, guys. Let's treat. All right, give me a second. All right. All right. One thing I thought about was how, in terms of Drew, I feel like the writers don't know what to do with him, and that's why they're doing this whole Congress thing. Is I'm the one that feels that way? Like they don't know what to do with him next, and they're just
Mhm.
throwing this in there.
But Drew is becoming more tolerable the less he's shown on screen. Like as long as if they need to realize with Drew, the less the better. So if he becomes a congressman, we're gonna see him less and less and less because there's no way in the world you can write a congressman realistically on General Hospital each and every day. We see how bad it is with the police commissioner and the mayor. Like, would you vote for Laura Collins to run your to be the mayor of your town, please?
Nah, she wouldn't be around enough.
Exactly. If Laura Collins, so so if Laura Collins can't even be portrayed realistically, there's no way they could do that. Hey, Allison. Allison says, hate Natalia on GH. What kind of bullshit pride storyline BS GH are trying to force on us? Yeah.
There's no
What are your
chemistry between those
thoughts?
two.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. But what are your thoughts on Natalia's homophobia?
I totally hate it, but then it's like at the same time I don't care enough about this story. With Christina Blaze, like it's just they're trying so hard to push the storyline. It's like I still don't care. It's like Brooklyn and Chase, like they keep trying and trying and trying and trying. It's like I still don't care. Like it is so sad because it's just like there's nothing about this storyline that interests me. It's like they're trying. I feel like Jace is trying so hard to make this a social issue storyline, but I didn't care in the first place for Christina or Blaze. I don't even see the chemistry between these two. Quite frankly, honestly, there's no chemistry with those two actresses. Like, I can't be the only one that's seeing that. Like, there's
Oh
no
no, not even
way you
close.
can. What was that?
I said, "Oh no, not even close." A whole
Yeah,
lot of fans and nations hate them.
there's no chemistry between the two. I mean, for me, honestly, like I see more chemistry between Willow and Drew. I see more chemistry. Jeez, I'm trying to think who else. I'm trying to think who else I just see more chemistry on the show. Um, Now, sometimes I see more chemistry between Diane and Alexis. I don't see this with Christina and Blaze. I just don't see it, and I'm just like, what are they trying to do here? Like, it's just not computing for me on this show. And they're trying, like I said, they're still trying. So I saw more chemistry between Tracy and Gregory, but it's still not computing for me. They're trying so hard with this and the music
Heck,
career and
I
all this
see more
stuff. And
chemistry between Dex and Michael. Okay.
hey, come on now, come on. Hell, I see more chemistry between Dex and Chase at one point in time. Not sorry, Michael and Chase at one point in time. So it's like, come on, come on now, come on. Okay, you want me to read that question one from
Yeah,
Ron?
you can read it.
Ron says, Kyrie's asked DC about Erica Slezak will play Vicky because fans didn't want her and Clint together on One Life to Live. Okay, I think the reason for that, Ron, was because Clint and Vicky had done so much ups and downs, and they were trying to tell a different story with Vicky, but they did put them together towards the end. It's kind of like Carly and Sunny. They didn't put them together for the longest time in GH, if you notice. From like '07 to like 2016, almost like 10 years, Sunny and Carly were not together in GH. And I think that's good because we needed a break. It would be like overkill if you kept doing it over and over again. And I think it was mature of the writers to realize that instead of like Brooke and Ridge every year back together, we now can't stand the couple by them doing that.
CJ Clove 18 says, like I said, GH hasn't been good in weeks. They haven't been good in months. Let alone weeks. It's been a long time since. Like, when's the last time where we really sat down and was like, oh my god, that was such a good episode of General Hospital today? When's the last time when I'm like, oh, the episode was so good I had to go back and rewatch it? Like, when's the last time it was? I don't think at one point in 2024 have I sat back and rewatched anything on General Hospital ever. Not once. Not even once.
I remember
So
when during the scene of the wedding when Greg was like, and I was like, oh, he like he about to die. So I was like, well, like he about to die. You know, that's all I could say to myself. And I remember I was sitting on the couch with my boyfriend watching. I was like, watch when after the wedding he dies. I just got a feeling. He's like, have you seen this before? I was like, no, I could just feel it. He gonna die right after the wedding. I could just feel it. And what happened? He died right after the wedding. I was like, well, that explains that. I was like, at least maybe we'll finally get some good scenes, hopefully.
they should have just brought the breakdown the ghost writers, the breakdown writers during that strike. They should have just brought them to be the permanent writers. That would have fixed their problem. They should have just made them the new head writers.
How did you feel about Gregory's funeral? Did it appeal to your emotions? Did you feel anything? Did you feel connected to it? His death or anything?
When Gregory went to sleep, that was my happy conclusion. Okay, so when Gregory closed his eyes, I was over him. The second I was over him long before that. The moment they announced his disease, I was over Gregory. Like, the happiest I've been with Gregory was his final episode. I just feel like they did a total injustice to that character to bring him on, gave him a contract just to kill him off like that. Like, why should we care? We don't know this man. Okay, he's been here for like what, 1 year. Like, there's been characters on this show that's been gone for like 20 years that were here for a long time, and you don't even mention them. You expect us to care so much that that Gregory's dead. Like, when Lucky left the show in 2011, I'm sure he was a big part of GH at some point, right?
Yeah.
Way bigger than Gregory ever could be. He didn't get that much of an emotional whatever. Now they barely even mention him. When Tyler Christopher left the role of Nicholas in 2016, they just kind of passed that by. But meanwhile, with Gregory, our hearts are supposed to be so broken. We didn't even get Nicholas's funeral on screen that time. The last time when they did that, they showed it in the aftermath. So I'm like, no, Gregory, he was a waste of my airtime. I just look, every time I think of Gregory, I just think that was a year of my life I can never get back.
See, that's the thing about soaps. I feel like they're always scared to kill off characters, and this is how I knew in watching Days even that Chad was not going to shoot. So it's like, what are y'all doing? Are you going to shoot or not? Like, I was watching that scene, like, he's going to shoot him. I was like, let me just figure out what to eat for lunch today. Like, he's not going to shoot this man. And it's like, and the fact that I could feel that way going into it is not good. Like, and I spoke about this on Albert's Live, because I remember I used to watch One Life to Live. There was a time in One Life to Live where I want to say it was 08 to 2010. They really went there with their storylines. And maybe because they knew they were going to get canceled, they said, let's just go all out. But, I feel like, at that time, there was a scene on One Life to Live where, for those of you who remember watched it, it was Gigi Marasco, and she had she had Sierra Rose, her sister's baby, in her hands, and they were on type of like this, how do you call it? It's like the little thing with the icicle, whatever. I don't know what they call those things.
Yeah.
Okay, she was on top of one of those, and it started to crack, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, nah, they're not going to make her fall. And she fell in with the baby. I was like, oh, God, no, they didn't just do
that. The
baby
survived?
The baby survived. But, like, when they did that, it was that moment, was like, oh, snap, did they just do that? Like, what? We don't get those moments anymore. And I know soaps are on a budget, but come on, y'all can do something. I've seen YouTube content creators that sit there and literally have the budget of $5 to shop the great value section of Walmart, do way more than what these soap writers are able to do. So it's like, come on, really, But when Michael did that, when she filmed the baby, and I was like, oh snap! And I remember my friends were watching Michael at the time, and she told me like she would come over after school, like, oh my God, like, are they gonna survive? What's gonna happen? Me and my sisters gotta watch it. It was must see TV at that time, and I was like, when was the last time soaps did that without being so super duperly predictable? I mean, imagine in all of this storyline, Sonny just shot Jason point blank. Why couldn't we get a scene like that? Why are y'all so scared to go there? That would make all of us want to know, did he just do that? Oh, snap, like Sonny just shot Jason? Like, shoot him, throw him in the ravine, and then we got to find out on Monday what's going to happen next. Why can't we get those kind of scenes? Do something that you know we're not expecting. Not like you hold up the gun for like 5 episodes throughout the week, and then someone comes and says, "No, don't shoot." Really?
Exactly.
This is what we're getting, and so it becomes so predictable. And I wish that they would be willing to take it to a place where we wouldn't expect. Like I would love to see Christina maybe one day. She's running after Blaze or Allison, and this will help make them interesting. Maybe she's running after her and says, "Wait, Blaze, wait." And then Blaze like, "Christina, I don't want to talk to you." She goes, "Blaze, wait." And then she falls down the stairs. And then we're like, "Did she lose the baby? This is what we need. This is what we need, guys." And you see the stunt double. You don't even see the stunt double when they fall down the stairs because the face changes. That's what I want to see more of. That's what I want to see more of. But we're not getting that.
But on The Young and the Restless, they finally are wrapping up Ashley's storyline, it appears. And they finally wrapped up Aunt Jordan's storyline, too. So, it was Martin that caused all of Ashley's trauma. So, Tucker was never the problem. It was Martin.
Do we really even care who caused in the first place? Ashley was never really a likable character on Y&R that we cared enough about. Let's be real. Ashley has never been a character on Y&R I've been invested. Listen, like Eileen Davidson's an amazing actress. I think she's personally better as Kristen on Days of Our Lives. But I was never invested in the character of Ashley. I never cared enough about Ashley on Y&R. I don't know about anybody else, but I never cared about Ashley. Never. Like she just wasn't a character I was ever invested in.
She's a sperm stealing shrew.
That's about
it. But I think Ashley's attractive. That she got that going for her. She's cute. So oh come on. I know that. But yeah, she do look good for her age. She still got it going on.
She does. I'll give her that.
I mean, just like my Tracy Abbott looks good too. Ever since she got that haircut, she's been gorgeous lately. Ever since she got that haircut, I'm like,
listen, put Tracy and Nate together. I'm telling you, this is how they could do it. One day, Nate is down on his luck, and he's in the Chancellor Square, and Tracy goes, "What's going on, Nate?" He goes, "Well, I'm just can't seem to catch a break." She goes, "Well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe one day you can be that person." "You think so, Tracy?" "I think so, Nate." And then they meet again in the GC coffee shop, and next thing you know, she comes over his place to deliver something on behalf of Jabot. And next thing you know, he's like, "Tracy, you may believe myself again." "Did I?" "Yeah." And they kiss and they fell in love. And it's gonna shock everybody. Come on, that would go ablaze the next day. And then next thing you know, we set the stage for them to become the next power couple of Jabot. Ain't nobody would see that coming. And especially Tracy. And next thing you know, Tracy wants to come to the helm and be like, "You know what? I never really cared too much about Jabot, but now I do." And she's got Nate by her side, the next Mr. Tracy Abbott. Y'all not ready.
Yes,
y'all not ready.
That's what we're talking about.
Y'all not ready.
That is a super couple, and that's not just that's a number one super couple. Their wedding will get more ratings than Luke and Laura. Okay, people will find that will be downloading that CBS app. That they be like, "Yo, I gotta watch Nate and Tracy's wedding today." They'll be calling out of work, be like, "I can't go to work today." Nate and Tracy will be on. I think I need to watch it live the second it happens. I don't want to wait not one more day. I need to see Nate and Tracy. I bet you they'll have billions of views on thing. And if they upload that full video over there on YouTube, that's going to get at least 100 million views, if not more. On that same night.
Can I make it spicier? We can get to the point where Jack is like, "No, he's not going to be in this company." Okay, I understand, cat lady. Go ahead and bark. I'm going to keep going. But here's the thing, though. So, Jack is like, he's not going to get this company. And then Jack is like, "Tracy, sign these annulment papers. If you do, he can be out of our lives." And then Tracy's like, "I can't do that." "Why not, Tracy?" "Because I'm pregnant." And then you bring Olivia Barber to town. And she's like, "No, you are not going to marry my son." Come on. This has all the angst there. This has everything. This is everything. Olivia Barber comes to town. It's like, "Oh, you're taking advantage of my son. You're an old woman. You're old enough to be his mother like me. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now." And let's put Mamie in the middle of it all, right? Because Mamie's all on good terms with the Abbotts, and this kind of shakes things up too. Come on now. And then Listen, go ahead,
I am Nate and Tracy's biggest supporter, but you kind of lost me with that. She's pregnant. Come on,
but
there's no
listen, but
way in the
listen,
world.
but listen, okay? And I could even see it now. You know, Mamie comes in trying to make peace with the Abbotts, and Jack goes, you know, no, I don't think he's good enough to be part of this family. And then Mamie will make a comment. So I was good enough to be your housekeeper, but we're not good enough to own the business. Come on now, come on. Y'all don't see this? Y'all don't see this coming in? Come on now, come on now. You don't see these parallels? Olivia Barber comes to town. Come on now. Okay, we can maybe
I'd
dial
rather
back on the pregnancy part. We can dial back the pregnancy part.
exactly.
Give me the rest.
Let's just
Give
take
me the
that
rest at least.
pregnancy part out. Instead, they bought a puppy. Okay, let's just say they're at their age they could buy a puppy. Okay.
He's co-CEO Jabot. He's co-CEO Jabot with Tracy. Olivia Barber comes to town, tries to talk some sense into him, and then Justin Barber comes to town. Come on, see these things setting the stage here. This gives Nate and Tracy a storyline right here. This gives them a storyline,
Sets
and
the
Nate
stage
can
for
say this is the
Emma
person who was
Barber. That
accepting
maybe
him.
they could rescue Emma Barber. She never died all those years ago when she went off that car. One of the Barber's enemies took Emma and had Emma all this time. And Nate and Tracy are to the rescue. And with the support of everything, they still cuss out Thomas because Thomas still watched her go off the road. And if Thomas would have called for help, then that bastard would have never been able to do that. So maybe they want to go after Forrester Creations for revenge.
Or here's what you could do. Here's what you could do. Nate and Tracy, after a while, when they're in the helm of Jabot, they're so tired of it. They decide, you know what? We're leaving Genoa City to go to LA, and that's when Nate goes over to his cousin Justin Barber. But here's a twist. So we know that Justin had a hard on for Bill back in the day. And next thing you know, let's say somehow Justin acquires all of Spencer Publications. Now he owns it. Now it's Barber Publications. And he brings Nate on to the helm. Come on now. Listen. Do you see this stuff? Do you see this stuff? And then we find out that Justin has been he's found a way. He helped Emma fake her death. So Emma kind of faked her death in a way. She was actually alive. She survived the attack, and Justin kept her somewhere. I don't know. It's typical soap stuff where they're presumed dead. He kept her somewhere, right? And he's at the helm, and now they got Barber Publications, and it's a war between him and the Spencers. And Nate comes to town with Tracy Abbott. Come on now. Come on. This is a nice little continuation. Come on. Don't get lost in me, guys. But do you see the vision here? Do you see the vision for the story?
I see the vision. See, so much we could do with Nate and Tracy. Damn it, that we don't get on YNR right now. Like right now, all we're hearing is Chelsea and Adam crying about Connor every 5 seconds. Who cares? We need Nate and Tracy Abbott
For 2025, y'all don't see the vision.
Yes.
And you know what? You know how they could actually get together is when Audra tries to swindle him, and Tracy's the one that helps him. He goes, "You're a good woman, Tracy Abbott." She says, "I believe there's deep down inside Nate, there's good in everyone." Tell me y'all don't see the vision. Come on
now. Jonathan says, "Well, I've got to take off. So have a good night, you guys, and enjoy the rest of Kyrie's Corner with special guest DC Soap Sanctuary, everyone." Yes, thank you, Jonathan.
Good night, Jonathan.
Have a good night as well. I appreciate you.
But do y'all see that vision? There's so many places they can take the Tracy and Nate. And honestly, I do feel like that couple would have some appeal. Y'all don't see it. Y'all too worried about the age difference, but I'm telling you, there's something there. Nate got them eyes, okay? And Tracy she got the move. She knows how to swish a little bit here and there. So I see the vision here. I see the vision. Exactly. I see that vision between the two of them. And I think that storyline can be taking place. And these are storylines I would be interested in because it's different than anything else I'm seeing. It will literally capture my attention on the screen. Even the Aunt Jordan stuff's got a little cartoonish a little bit, but it's captured my attention on YNR because it's different than anything else is going on. I understand, Cat Lady. If you need a moment, take a moment. I understand. It's okay. But I think they would actually be an amazing couple to set YNR off fire. I really believe so because it would be one of those things like fans like, what the heck? But you also wonder what are they gonna do with this couple though? That makes you tune in. And I'm not necessarily talking about creating just a shock value, but it's about getting us to really think about, how do we envision these couples? Now, see, y'all wasn't barfing with Sally and Jack, though. Y'all wasn't barfing with Sally and Jack, and that was the same
thing.
I
was.
Age difference. Really? I feel like nobody gave a lot of heat back then. I feel like people didn't give a lot of heat.
I sure did. I said Sally don't need to be with that 80-year-old man. That's what I was saying.
You were. But most people did not have a problem with those two. But all of a sudden got a problem with Tracy and Nate. Why is that, y'all? Why is that? Why is that?
Because I'm
Why
tired
is
of the
that?
double standard. First of all, Tracy's a good-looking woman. In her later stage in life, she done found a little bit of the gym. You could tell she's been losing the weight over the years. Because come on, like 5 years ago, Tracy was a chunky woman. So right now she's definitely lost some weight lately. When and then she got rid of that hair because her hairdo wasn't working for her for a while. But when she cut that hair and come on, her wardrobe always be on point. Don't that woman always be looking on point with her wardrobe? I'm like, you never see it. And then she keeps herself like well plenished. Like she's never ashy. She's never she's always hydrated. Like, come on, Tracy Abbott, she's good folks. They just need to give her a chance. Let's give her some love that she deserves. Like today, Darby and Albert were giving her the smut talk about she was annoying today. Like she was seeing right through everything that shady ass doctor was doing that because that wasn't even the real doctor. That was his twin brother. So Tracy could sense that and she was calling him on it. But yet Tracy is somehow the bad guy according to those two boomers. I'm like, come on, this ain't right. This is not right. Coming at my boo Tracy Abbott. That's my boo. They know that, but they lucky today because I didn't really get my full rest today the way I usually do. But I'm still, but I'm gonna get Albert back for that tomorrow. Trust and believe me. When I'm well rested, I'll get him back for that. Coming from my boo Tracy Abbott. Big mistake.
That's interesting to me. I just feel like Tracy, honestly. Oh, go ahead.
No. It's okay. What were you saying?
I just feel like looking at it too. I just feel like for me, why not? Like I said, when soaps can do storylines like that make you really think like, wow, they're about to go here. They're about to just like it's kind of like when Leo slept with Dimitri while he was married to Gwen. I was like, oh, we're going here. Okay, where is this gonna go? I like those kind of storylines where it's like, oh, this is what we're doing. This is what we're gonna be doing. I feel like those are the things that make you think about a storyline and you really have no clue where it's going to go, but you're now invested in it to see what exactly is about to happen. And I don't know when was the last time we had a storyline like that on soaps, and I miss that. I miss that a
That's
lot.
true about Leo and Dimitri. I remember when Gwen had to watch Leo. I mean Dimitri sucking Leo's joystick right there in that hotel room. We're like, whoa, he was really speaking on that microphone. We're like, damn. Have a good night, Clarence.
Singing on that mic.
He sure was. Rocky.
He was singing on that mic. But see, this is the thing. I love it when we can see couples like that where it's like, whoa, like I was not expecting this, and this is what they're gonna do with this storyline. I'm like Morgan and Ava. Yep, this might sound bad. I like Morgan and Ava together. I'm sorry, unpopular opinion. I like those two together. It was given, what was it? Matt and Vanessa from Guiding Light, if y'all remember those vibes. That's what it was giving, Morgan and Ava, and I was here for it. I still believe Avery is Morgan's daughter, and I stand on business when I say that.
Stay on business.
I stand on business when I say that.
What do you think of Brooke being the co-CEO?
I'm exhausted. That's how I feel. I'm exhausted. When it comes to B&B, I'm just really exhausted with B&B. Even the whole Zende storyline with Luna, it was the prop for RJ. I'm just so exhausted with it. Now Brooke is CEO. Brooke was supposed to be the matriarch of the Foresters at this point, but the problem is she can't because she's still doing the same foolishness that she's been doing. And there's a point in time, I feel like when you get to a certain age, certain things gotta stop. Like you gotta stop that crap. You gotta stop. And Brooke has not stopped any of those things yet.
She's incapable. You can't turn a hoe into a CEO. You just can't.
You can't.
She just Like, and Hope is so laughable these last few days, talking about all of Brooke's contributions. Like, she had the nerve to say, "Oh, Brooke is so respected in the business community. People in the business community are still asking about Brooke every day, begging for Brooke to come back." No, the hell they're not. Are you kidding me? All her scandals, like in real life, who would take her that seriously with everything that she
Yeah,
has done publicly? Like, nobody would take her seriously. She slept through the whole. I mean, I get the Kardashians got their little money, but still, ain't nobody taking Brooke Logan seriously. A woman who
exactly.
had a baby with her daughter's husband. That's it. That is public knowledge that everybody knows that. Even in fictional world, we all know that that's a well known scandal in that town that's easily Google searched, even in their fictional world. That is, let alone in real life where people think about that character. But Hope, stop that BS. Like, Hope really thinks that Forrester is the Logans as
And
well.
it's
Like,
not.
it's really not. Like, Stephanie. This is why I feel like Steffi needs to really. I get that Steffi's still young, but since Taylor can't stick around, the Foresters really do need a true matriarch, though. So, but Steffi's like, she's still young though, but like
Yeah,
she's got to mature first in order to do that, because like she still be on that childish like energy sometimes. So like, she is young and bossy, but we can't really take her seriously like a good matriarch. We
we
need
can't.
someone that could really come in and be like, "Brooke, your time is up.
I
You
feel sad.
you've got to go." Like, because Stephanie was the Stephanie was the real star of the show, and it really shows that she's not around. Because even when I'm watching reruns and clips, that was a much different show when Stephanie was around. Like, her presence, it really affects the show. Because I'm sure if it was Brooke or who else that left, and Stephanie was still around, we wouldn't really notice too much of a difference because Stephanie just had that presence about her.
She
She was
did.
that chick, but I don't think they've really recovered since Stephanie left.
They haven't. And I know Albert says a lot in his lives of like how soaps just come out with okay episodes. I was watching Days last week, and was it this week or last week where Nicole punched Sloan, and I was watching it, and my boyfriend was there watching with me. And he's like, "Oh, I gotta start watching soaps more." And you see that he caught it on a good day finally, because he always been watching with me. He's like, "Oh, this is boring." It's like, "What is this? This is boring." And I can't blame him because episodes are kind of boring. I'm like, "Damn, how am I still watching this stuff?" But he caught it on a good day, and Days brought it in that episode. And I was like, this is what soaps need to do every time they got an episode you bring, because that's a new viewer that could have pulled in right there. That's a new viewer that could have pulled in. That's like there was times I used to watch GH like, man, this is boring, and he was bored too. But see, that was episode for the new viewer. They missing the mark. Soaps got to find a way to bring in these new audiences to really, like you said, with Stephanie on B&B. Back in the day, she was you felt her presence when she walked in the room. She stole every scene she was in. She put the bold in the bold and the beautiful. She really did. And like I said, her shoes have not been able to been filled since she left, unfortunately.
And Brooke is just not it, and never would be.
Never.
Like,
And I want to ask you, Kyrese, what do you think about the gates coming up? What are your thoughts on this?
well, we all know I love the idea of that Gates. I want them to get the Queen Latifah on there if they can. I want them to get
It's might be too expensive for them.
Hannah from the Haves and the Has Not, Hannah and Candace. Let them play mother and daughter again. Um, we need some good. Let them get Victoria Rawa on there.
Oh yes,
It's Yep, Victoria Rawa and Hannah can place it, but
I could
they
totally see that.
they could definitely that could definitely be a good thing going with the Gates. We could eventually see if we can get Trina. They look like they're finally going to give Tabiana something to do with Trina, but if not, then Tabiana could go onto the Gates and have her a nice role over there. Like, the Gates
Maybe
just
Trina
has
and TJ can fall in love. That'll be a nice little shocker story for GH.
Too late for Finn to do that. Hope like him and touching him, and she's looking at him. Nasty. He gave her a massage. I'm like, very inappropriate. In the
It
office.
looks like he's got those hands. Finn looks like he got strong hands though.
Like, and then Finn seriously wants to have all this smoke and energy for Thomas, yet he says with a straight face and truly believes it with all his heart. But no, but my mother Sheila has changed. But you know how I feel about Thomas. He can never change. Get the hell out of here. Like, Finn, you have
Sheila's way worse.
credibility. Like, I want him to say that in front of all his other doctor colleagues. Thomas Forrester and Sheila Carter, they both look at both of their reputations, but no, but Sheila has changed. Thomas, he can never change. I want Finn to say that in front of everybody. They would be questioning why he still has a medical license. Because how, when he doesn't have a brain? Like, seriously. That was just disgusting with Finn doing that. I'm like, ugh, Alden the Beautiful really knows how to push people's buttons. But I'm glad you brought up Nicole punching Salone last week, because I was expecting more though. Like,
really?
we were supposed to, like, all that months, all this time, Nicole could have beat her down a little bit further. We saw how Dex has to walk around with one eye after what Sonny did to him. But this woman stole your baby for 6 months. Like, she made you grovel for forgiveness, knowing that she had your baby all that time. And all you're going to give her is that one punch. We didn't even see Salone with a little bit of a black eye. We should have gotten some hair pulling too, and some choking. Like, I felt robbed with that. All she got was one little punch in. I'm like, come on.
Honestly, I didn't even think. I honestly kind of right, but I never even thought too much of that scene. Actually, at the time, I actually just thought how stupid it was for Sloan to show up at the mansion. So we need to talk. I was like, you're really trying to fumble the bag that EJ Demir left you, sis. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you would have let this go, I'm sure EJ would find a way to terminate all those accounts you had going on, and now you're gonna have nothing. You know, but I guess she was trying to do the right thing towards the end, and I totally see her for that. But honestly, I feel like someone had a point. Nicole is a hypocrite. Nicole has done the same thing. And literally, this is all kinds of karma. She tried to steal EJ's baby from her, and EJ, in a way, kept her own baby from her in a karma. So I felt for Nicole, but at the same time, I was like, sis, this is karma. Sloan wasn't lying.
Yep,
and she's no better than Sloan.
I saw that in the replay. I saw that scene when Sammy slapped Nicole twice. He said, "Say that's my baby. Say that." Yep, I saw that scene. She slapped her. And then she said, "It's your hey, Melanie." So Nicole is a hypocrite, but But guess what? Nicole went to jail for her crimes. Okay, she had to pay her debt for society, but Salone didn't have to pay her. So there ain't no justice there.
I just feel like seeing the way Eric looked at Sloan is like Nicole did the same thing, and also to your sister, and you're still having all these amazing feels about her. So,
but do you think Eric is going to throw hands with EJ when the truth comes out?
Yes, I definitely think he will. I definitely think so. He will. At this point, I definitely think he will. And I understand EJ's desperation at this point. Although, like I said, with this, I totally think that Eric will, and it will bring Eric and Nicole closer in a sense. I just think EJ, in a sense, he's not playing it smart. What I do like is that Melinda Trask, she was able to play the last ace up her sleeve, which was Gabby, to help ensure her protection during this time. Because honestly, I don't get why Melinda threw herself in this. She didn't need to do all this, personally.
Well, speaking of, I've been asking that because I don't think Nicole and Melinda have ever even had a scene together, have they?
I don't think so either.
So how do we think that showdown's going to go? Because we're definitely going to get that showdown Do we think that's going to get physical, and who's going to win that fight? Nicole versus Melinda.
Probably Nicole, because here the anger will just be so strong. She'll have all the power. She'll feel all the power run through her veins. I also think that Leo should be held accountable. Leo act like he's innocent, but technically he played a part.
He did.
He really played a part in
To
this.
be
But I
fair,
think the
he
writers are
tried
trying to
to do the
absolve
right
him.
thing, but they
Tried,
punched
but he
him in the
didn't.
face.
Tried, but didn't. He tried, but didn't.
EJ literally, when he did that the first time, EJ literally punched him in the face. So, um, I wouldn't be trying to help them either after they tried, and then Nicole kept ripping into him. So, what more was he to do? He could have wrote it in the sky, but Salone would have covered that up because he still didn't know about Eric being the father. So they could be like, you see, Leo was lying because that's not that same babies. I don't know what they're talking about with whatever because she was still
Yeah.
lying about Eric being the father.
Because that's the thing, Nicole got her baby back. There's still that another element that Eric is the father that a lot of people don't know about, and I don't think Leo even knows about that part. Leo as a
Leo
character,
forgot because EJ told him when he was drunk, and that's why EJ paid him. But he doesn't
Leo
remember
is,
that he was drunk.
but he's one of those characters right now on days. I'm kind of like, why are you here? Kind of like with Sloan. Like Sloan doesn't have no ties. Nobody really cares about Sloan. I feel like they threw in Melinda Trask as a friend to Sloan last minute, so she has somebody for it to make sense why she's still here. And Leo doesn't have anybody though. That's the thing. He doesn't have nobody. It was Gwen. Gwen is gone. Dimitri's gone. So he has literally nobody at this point. And they're trying to redeem him. But that's why I would have wished they would have kept Leo with Craig, because Craig would have been the better part of Leo. Craig
Who?
would have been the thing that like Craig.
Who's Craig?
Craig was a doctor that Leo was dating, that he was the one got married to.
Oh no, I wasn't watching during that time.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is like I think almost like a year or so ago. But he was dating a Dr. Craig, who was Chloe's father, and they were gonna get married. And that fell through. But Craig would have been the better part of Leo. And I wish they would have kept, and it was an age gap between those two, but I was here for it because I feel like Craig would have been the better part of Leo. Craig was a respected doctor. And I feel like that would have been the part that would have made Leo redeemable, more redeemable in our eyes.
Melanie says, to be fair, Nicole went to jail for stealing Sammy's baby Sydney, and Anna bailed her out, so it's time for Salone to go to prison for stealing Jude as well. Two wrongs don't make a right. That's true. Thing went to jail, but Salone gets to live a pretty life on the run. So, no sister. Well, actually, the actress is playing a real pretty life because she secured her bag. She got a billionaire. In real life, that's what she's engaged with. She's like, after this soap TV show, I'm not gonna stay over there getting a few dollars. I'm marrying a billionaire, y'all. I'm out. Y'all want to recast the character? Be my damn guest. I am out of here.
Wait, the actress play Sloan is actually leaving for good?
Yeah, she's leaving because she got a billionaire man. Who could blame her? She got her bag. And she's out of here. I don't think she's coming back.
I'm not even mad at her.
I'm not mad at her either. She better get that baby, okay? She better.
Damn, I didn't know that she got married.
Yeah, she's engaged. She's that wedding gonna be happening. She's like, F that. I don't blame her now one bit.
Oh shit! Oh shit! That's what's Chris on laughing. Damn. Okay, she got her billionaire. Okay, they were like that. I don't know.
She sure did. Just like Audra Charles got herself a nice man too. I don't think he's no billionaire or a millionaire either, but he looks good. He was cute when I posted
that. Get the bills paid. I'm not even mad at it. Get the bills paid. I'm not even mad.
Bills paid. And then, what did you think about Teresa throwing herself at Brady again? Brady is a 4 and nothing more than a 4.
It's a 7 for me. I kind of want the storyline to be over already. With Teresa, I keep forgetting that she used to be Gwen. I keep forgetting we still have Gwen on our screens in the form of Teresa, Gwen Teresa. I keep forgetting that. I kind of want the storyline to be over with already. I was really interested in the Holly and Tate thing at first, And then they took a left turn with that, and then now they're Holly and Tate back together, and I'm glad they didn't drag that out, because that was already getting my nerves too. But with with Gwen Risa, I want to see this storyline over with. It's gone on long enough. I'm kind of over it. I'm not invested in Teresa or Alex or the Constantine thing. The Constantine thing with getting back at John Black for alleged supposedly killing his daughter, which I already know they're going to reveal in the end. John didn't really kill his daughter. I know that's what they're going to do. That's where it's going. No, nobody can be fully tainted on the soap, unfortunately. We can't have morally great characters. Where's Ottawa 20? We can't have morally great characters anymore in soaps. But yeah, I wish that this storyline was a little more interesting than I thought it would be, but it's not. I mean, obviously the part of Maggie's new plan and stuff like that makes it more interesting, but I'm ready for them to wrap it up.
Who'd win in a fight, Steffie versus Brooke?
Steffie.
I hope so.
Steffie for sure, honestly.
I would hope Steffie would beat Brooke down like she stole something. Because Brooke do need a good beat down one day, though. Because, she just like, did you see that scene when Brooke made Zende cry? Like, that was just pathetic.
Yeah. Where are Zende's parents to back him up? Zende's like up there with no support.
Exactly. Let his mother go fly down there. Zende should have called his mom and been like, "Mom, look what Brooke said to me. She accused me of family betrayal." And let her be on that who's Zende's mother again?
Kristen Forrester.
Kristen Forrester. Does Kristen Forrester like Brooke?
I don't know. She was barely on the screen. I don't even think I'd even known her, but didn't even have interaction.
But she probably don't like her. So just let her drive. let her drive over. Let her land on that flight and be like, I need to talk to Brooke, and slam that door just like Brooke. Don't you ever talk to my son like that again. Do you understand me? Do you hear me? I would love if Brooke got put in her place, be like, your son betrayed my dad. Just slap her one good time. That's all we need. We need that passion in the soap opera,
I agree. It's what's missing.
We need Stephanie. We need that Stephanie Forrester energy, because Steffie just isn't ready yet. She got some grooming to do. She needs that's why I'm okay with Brooke being the co-CEO temporarily, because I want Steffie to sit back, learn a little bit, learn how to be more subtle, learn how to take her down like a real leader though. Like, stop with that little girl shit, like with that little, you broke up my family with all that. Like, who cares about Taylor and Ridge? You got to move on from all that. You need to be about your business, about leading your family, about you and your legacy. F Taylor and Ridge. Okay, that should be that background. Steffie needs to really be the boss that she could be. I feel.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Once she's ready for that, once she gets into that stage in life, then she could tell Brooke to go hop on the next married man, like a cat in heat. Because
I totally agree with that.
That's what Brooke just does. But before we go, is there any final words?
Let's see. It's been amazing to be on Clark Industries tonight in this general shareholders meeting. I am obliged, very obliged. Hopefully one day he'll hire me as VP of Troll Affairs. As right now I work for VP of Troll Affairs, Boston Enterprises.
Of course.
For the international division. But honestly, no, it's been great having me on tonight. I really appreciate you having me on. I really appreciate that.
Of course. I appreciate you as well. But have a great night, everybody. I will see y'all. I'll see my members from my member stream tomorrow, and I will see everybody else on my regular live on Saturday. So have a great night, everybody, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Good night, everybody.